Okay, this is part 3. The death tax of the Death Tax Repeal Act of 2015. Now, I think I finished this chart here in the previous video. So I'm going to go to the next chart here. Well, back to this chart. We've seen it before. Now, the stepped up in basis rule was inserted in Bush's 2001 $3.5 million, no, excuse me, $1.35 million tax cut in 2001. Well, when the exemption here was only 1 million, it wasn't such a big problem because the government, or because capital gains in these states with less than 1 million would be canceled out, capital gains tax. But when you increase the exemption to 1,500,000, then 2 million, then 3,500,000, then 5 million, and you index that for inflation, and you double that for married couple, you're creating a big, giant tax loophole. Because these capital gains in these states that have less than this exemption up here, this year, close to $11 million for married couples, those are all wiped out. No one pays them. So I'm going to go to this next chart here. Can we go to the next chart? Okay. And by the way, it's I got the chart from a Center on Budget and Policy Priorities. And the source of the information, I believe, is the Federal Reserve Board. Now this circular chart here represents the states with assets over 100 million. Now it says up here, large share of biggest estates consist of unrealized capital gains that have never been taxed. Now, where do capital gains come from? They come from the exploitation of a nation's natural resources. Oil, natural gas, coal, iron ore, etc. Now, they also come from the use of the nation's infrastructure, bridges, highways, roads. That all costs money to build, maintain, and repair. Now, capital gains also comes from the many government services: education, healthcare, research, and homeland security, which provides a safe environment for capital investments. Now, capital gains also comes from subsidies to corporations and farmers. Now, it also comes from the near 1 trillion the government spent on stimuluses to aid economic recovery. But if you repeal the state tax, this entire state, including unrealized capital gains here, are transferred to heirs tax-free. And you stiff or rob Uncle Sam of his contributions to capital gains. You know, that's just like if this man over here helps me build my house, and later I sell it, and I keep all the money for myself. I give him nothing. That's what this repeal does to Uncle Sam. Now, in the past presidential election, the slogan was by Republicans, "We built it." No, you didn't. You had help from the federal government. But Republicans want to keep these capital gains here, 55% of this large estate here, 100% for themselves and give the federal government nothing. That's definitely immoral. So there's something else bad about this repeal. These entire estates can be transferred to heirs or recipients, creating an American aristocracy that live on inherited tax-free income. Now there's something else I'll tell you about this repeal. It's not stated in the text. It retains the annual gift exemption, which is $14,000, and the lifetime gift exemption, which is $5 million. Now that means the parents can transfer $28,000 to each of their children, tax-free. Now that's that's almost double the minimum wage. And on top of that, they can transfer another $5 million, well $10 million, to parents, to their children, tax-free during their life. And they can live on, enjoy all the benefits of the government without paying taxes. Now, that's unfair, because you're taxing income that people work for, but you're not taxing income that people are not working for. This bill does that. Okay, can we go to the next chart here? Well, okay, that's good. I'm going to go to the debate in the House of Representatives. I'm quote Mr. Brady here. He's a Republican from Texas. Remember, I showed you his picture in the beginning. He's the main sponsor. And here's what he said. Can you imagine working your whole life to build up a family-owned business or a farm, and then upon your death, Uncle Sam swoops in and takes nearly half of what you have spent a lifetime building up for your children and grandchildren? Now, is that true? No, it's false. Yes, the capital gains tax is nearly 40%, but it's imposed on your estate that exceeds the exemption. Now, I'm going to go down here next to Mr. McDermott here. That's Jim McDermott. He's a Democrat from Washington. And here's what this is his reply. For the past hour, my Republican colleagues have stood up and tried to scare you. They've tried to turn the estate tax into a boogeyman that kills family farms and hurts family business. They've called the estate tax all kinds of bad names, like immoral, and they've tried to claim it is a calculated tax on the American dream. They have also claimed that the estate tax disproportionately affects poor small businesses and startups. These wild and inaccurate claims could not be further from the truth. Here are the facts that Republicans have forgotten to mention. The estate tax will only affect 5,400 states out of an estimated 2.6 million this year. That means repealing the estate tax would amount to a tax break for the top 0.2%. The Hiltons, the Adelsons, the Koches, those folks. According to the Tax Policy Center, only 20, I emphasize, 20 small businesses and small farms, estates, nationwide owed an estate tax in 2013. Furthermore, these estates just owed 4% of their value in tax. Now let's go back up here to this statement by Mr. Brady. What are you saying here? If you own a family business farm, it doesn't make any difference. Whether small, medium, or large, the government's going to swoop in and take nearly half. Well, that's a false statement. Because less than 1% of all family farms and businesses are excluded from the estate tax because they don't have assets that exceeds the exemption. And they don't pay nearly half. According to the Tax Policy Center, they pay 4.9. That's less than 5%. Now, Jim McDermott down here, remember he said, my Republic colleagues have called the estate tax all kinds of bad names like immoral. Well, guess who said that? Mr. Brady. It's not immoral. It's the exact opposite. Here's what is immoral. When you stiff Uncle Sam his contribution to capital gains, which is the repeal does. It's immoral when you allow these multimillionaires and billionaires escape paying back taxes owed due to undertaxation since Reagan. It's immoral when you allow them to transfer their public debt, which they created in their lifetime, to future generations which did not create it. Okay. One more thing. Brady up here, Mr. Brady, Republican from Texas, he says the estate tax punishes success. Well, that's like saying taxing wages punishes workers who work, or taxing corporate profits punishes corporations who are profitable. That's looking at only one side of the coin. Those taxes paid. The other side of the coin is the benefits received. A tax is only punitive if it's in excess of the benefits that you receive. But farmers here, besides receiving all the standard benefits, the government subsidizes farms $15 to $35 billion a year. So why are they complaining if they have to pay 5% inheritance tax? Now, remember I showed you that chart before of the income from economic expansion of the top 10% shot past the income from economic expansion of the bottom 90%? Well, the estate tax corrects that imbalance, so it's a just tax. It's immoral to repeal the estate tax because it allows this divergence between the rich and the poor to get worse. Okay. The debate in the House of Representatives took 1 hour. And I counted the number of Republicans that used the same argument. The estate tax punishes family farms and businesses. You know what it is? Can we go up a little? It's a Trojan horse. It's a false and deceptive argument to get support to repeal the state tax on multimillionaires and billionaires. Out of the 5,000 400 that pay the estate tax, only 20 are family farms and business, so it's a spurious argument. Let's go here to the